Right, with everything that's going on in the world right now, I figured we could do with a bit of positivity. Now, I'm not a nurse, doctor, teacher, mask manufacturer, so there's very little I can do to actually help the situation. But what I am is a storyteller. So what I can give to you guys is a bit of escapism. So grab some snacks, grab your popcorn, grab some drinks, get cozy. My name is Charlie, and this is the story of me and Dundee. Let's go back a few days before Christmas in 2015. I was travelling with two friends, Jack and Amanda, and we'd booked on a 6-day outback tour with a company called Groovy Grape. And Tom was our tour guide.
Christmas Day!
And we're hiking.
We are hiking Kings Canyon. We made it up Parktack Hill, yay!
Whoop whoop. No heart attacks?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Is there more incline?
A little bit, like nothing like that.
Not gonna lie, we don't like our guide.
Some like him more than others.
Wait.
It was clear that there was a spark between us, and I ended up sitting up the front of the bus chatting to Tom for pretty much the whole trip.
Let's go! Everyone's like, running!
Before I knew it, the tour had ended, so I left Tom and carried on with the rest of my travels. Happy New Year!
You're standing all alone. Who are you? Take your mask off right now. Lights off.
Even though I was on the adventure of a lifetime and doing all these amazing things, I still was thinking about Tom.
Think that I will come back even stronger when you held my heart.
We'd stayed in contact the whole time I was travelling up the East Coast. And then I decided to cut my time in Cairns a bit short so that I could fit a little trip in to see Tom before my next tour. I flew to Adelaide to spend a week with Tom in his hometown in the Riverlands.
And more adventures with Tom. Today Tom is trying to make a knife, but it's failed. He tried to layer 3 together to make it look really pretty. Back to the drawing board. Start again.
Just make it the way I normally make it.
So Tom just went diving down to the bottom near the pontoon, and this is the collection of that he found. Sunglasses, sunglasses, a hat, sunglasses, and 2 golf balls. Well done, Dundee.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I spent the week hanging out with Tom's friends and family and being fully immersed in his home life.
Tom is still fishing, and I am still eating lasagna. So good. We're gonna go find some scorpions. The only problem is I don't actually have proper shoes on, I have flip-flops on. Not the best idea. Oops. We're coming into Scorpion area. I think it might be dinner time. Kinda want some food. And there don't appear to be any scorpions out here. Oh, and go, 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 go. Oh, it's up. Oh. That wasn't very dramatic.
Go, skip
Go, 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 go. It's my last day with Tom today. I'm sad. There's not much I can do about that. And I'm flying to Perth tomorrow.
As much as I didn't want to leave Tom, I had the next 3 months of travel already booked on the west coast of Australia, Southeast Asia, and China. And if you want to see those adventures, I suggest you head back to Series 1. Then in May 2016, I flew back to spend a month with Tom to check if this was more than just a holiday romance. We decided to totally throw ourselves in the deep end and do a road trip across the whole of Australia.
It's day 6 on the adventures of Crocodile Dundee and Pocket Trailblazer. What day are we on? Saturday. It's day 5. It's day 5 on the adventures. So Tom dived out of bed to create a massive bonfire. Look at this. It's actually coming through to my face. It's quite nice. Yay. Thank you, Tom.
Finally, we made it up to Darwin and spent a few weeks camping and exploring the Northern Territory.
Night 2 in Kakadu. We set up our little mozzie repellent thing. Our tent set up, swag in there, and attempt not to get any ants in there this time. We're cooking some asparagus, yum. Asparagus, camping food. Impulse buy at the supermarket. I can't believe I swam through those holes today. That was pretty epic for me, considering I'm very scared of deep water that I can't see the bottom, and getting stuck in swimming through a tunnel. Scary. How do you think I did, Tom?
I was impressed.
You impressed? I actually made it
Tell you
after
it.
about 17 attempts.
He's gonna do it this time! I tell you, you're freaking out pretty bad, so the fact that you got through there.
And just did it.
Became obvious that this was definitely more than a holiday romance, and we both started mentally preparing ourselves for the long-distance relationship we were going to have to start.
My last full day in Australia. Mixed emotions, really, because I don't want to leave, and I'm going to miss Tom a lot.
Honestly, at this point, I don't think either of us really had any idea what we were getting ourselves into. We were just 100% living in the moment. I flew back to the UK to work on a film production for about 4 months. Then in September, Tom flew over to the UK for the first time. We spent a few weeks in London, and then we spent a week sailing with my family. This was back in 2016, so I wasn't filming everything back then, so all I have is a few photos.
Hi, Trailblazers! It's Boxing Day! So I thought I'd kind of get a little bit back in the habit of pointing camera at myself, because I haven't done it in quite a while. Tom's here at the moment, he's been here for Christmas.
It's the only way to survive in the UK.
It's too cold here, isn't it? He's really cold. He keeps warming up his feet by the fire. And we're just getting packed up, ready to start our next adventure. Six hours at Dubai Airport.
This long-distance relationship was already starting to take its toll on me, not only because I'm a nervous flyer, but because I suffer really badly from jet lag.
This is really difficult. How are you feeling, Tom?
I'm fine.
Tom's having a coffee. He was quite happy to just sleep all the way through. I don't know how Tom does it. He has this ability to just go to sleep, like, really early in the day and just sleep through. What? Crazy boy. It's really good to be back in Australia though. It's so nice, the weather's beautiful. It's been like the perfect weather today to ease us back into the crazy temperatures that are about to happen. We're in the Riverlands. Welcome to Berry.
We had made it back to Tom's hometown just in time for yabby season. And yes, I didn't have a clue what a yabby was either.
I don't know where Tom is, but I just got my first yabby. Hello, Mr. Yabby. Ooh, I got this one all by myself. Yay! My first yabby. That's delicious.
Then we spent New Year's Eve with a bunch of Tom's childhood friends. It was 2017 and time for a new challenge, so we headed to Port Lincoln, and if you've seen my first series, then you can probably guess what we're about to do.
Pocket Trailblazer is a scaredy cat when it comes to sharks. We've just arrived at the Shark Warrior. choppy.
G'day, my name's Bruce.
Now, I was absolutely terrified to get in that cage, but knowing I had Tom with me made me feel a little bit calmer.
He's a big shot.
Oh, big shark. Big freaking shark. Oh my god. Wow. Emus, emus, emus. Where we going?
A bit further back.
A bit more of a run up.
Yeah, it just helps you line it up better if it's a bit further back.
Tom is desperate to get up this hill in one go. We've tried twice now. The sand is so soft. Here we go.
And I know you're the one I've been looking for. And I know you're the one for me.
Port Lincoln was quickly becoming one of mine and Tom's favourite places in the whole of Australia, and you're about to see why.
If you really believe.
Ah, look at that! Trying to walk up the sand dunes is a bit tricky. Standing cameras don't go very well, so I'm trying not to drop this camera. Oh my god, look at this view! Ah! Ah!
I loved it so much I decided it would be the perfect setting to film the intro to my second series.
In this series, we're going to be visiting some lesser?
I'm going to be adventuring around some of the lesser known backpacking spots in Australia and uncovering one of its best kept secrets.
What she said.
Yet again, I had come to the end of my time in Australia. I had to fly home, not only because my visa had run out, but because I had to earn money to get a new camera because this happened. 5 months later, I'd been granted a year-long tourist visa and I was back on a plane. And after a brief stop in Sydney, I was going to be spending my first season in Darwin, where I was meant to be spending most of my time editing my series. However, I actually spent most of my time doing things like this.
We just spent the afternoon diving through tunnels and stuff. So much fun.
Tom was going to be working the whole season as a tour guide in Kakadu National Park, so I obviously had to go out with him on a few adventures.
We made it to the beach. Because Tom's a tour guide in Kakadu, I never get to go to Litchfield. So it's Litchy Day. Hot tip from the tour guide, get here really early because that's millions of people and you'll have millions of people in your Instagram shot. No one wants that, do they? We have been down the jetty fishing all morning. I caught my first fish and brought it in all on my own, yay! It was pretty miniature, so we just threw it back.
She got fishy.
Then midway through the season, my brother came to Darwin for 3 weeks, so we obviously had to show him around.
Today we're gonna give some slacklining a bash. I can already tell I'm gonna be amazing at it.
As you can see, there was always something to be doing or an adventure to be going on. So by this point, I had already totally fallen in love with the outdoor Australian lifestyle.
Something crazy has just happened. I don't often vlog before breakfast before I've even got up, but this has just happened.
It was October and the wet season had well and truly arrived. It was time to leave Darwin and begin the 3,000-kilometre drive across Australia back to Tom's hometown, Bury. Now, Tom has been a tour guide for backpackers for over 10 years, but he'd never actually been backpacking himself. So after a season of him pushing me out of my comfort zone in Darwin, I figured it was his turn. So we headed over to Southeast Asia for 9 weeks of backpacking.
It's Tom's first time in Asia. Ah! We're about to land in Cambodia.
Dundee in a tuk-tuk.
I like it.
Tom is buying the obligatory elephant pants. Obviously, you have to.
Because I'm not very good at this.
In true Cambodian style, we have taken a taxi, then a minibus, then another little minibus, and we're on the ferry. So what do you think of these islands so far, Tom?
It's alright.
Now, we all know that travel can be challenging and not just a montage of snorkeling and sunsets, as we were about to be reminded.
So we may have had a slight disaster today. The others are not very well. He suddenly started
Yes, well done.
Yes world of YouTube. Tom's not very well today either. Oh well, it happens, literally.
Both my friend Anna Marie and Tom got pretty bad food poisoning, but luckily, after a few days, they had recovered enough and we could move on.
Tommy
Hiding in the
Roo.
shade.
He's hiding in the shade. Tommy Roo, what do you think of Angkor Wat?
It's very cool. It's hard to get it all in.
It is.
Waiting for the sun to rise. It's like being back at work.
Tom just thinks that this is like watching the sun come up over Uluru. So we made it to Vietnam, yay! We just completely diced with death on the roads on a bike. How did you enjoy the cycling route?
It's great.
It was great.
Wasn't scared at all. Such a bad idea.
We are at the train station in Da Nang, waiting for our overnight train to Nha Trang. Terrifying.
Pretty sure I'm gonna die 10 years younger than I would have hadn't been for that taxi ride.
Tom's first experience of the night train in Asia.
So weird. Look how much I'm floating.
This is the weather on Christmas Eve in Vietnam!
Christmas, we will be getting a tropical storm.
Merry Christmas! On the train again, 7 hours. Noodles! This is part of the train experience. How are your noodles?
Pretty good.
Yum!
In typical Southeast Asia style, it's complete freaking chaos. What did you think of that experience?
It was cool. Very cool. I mean, where else are you going to see that?
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Tom is fascinated already. Honestly, how cool is this that you download the app and then the park comes alive? It's alive!
So bizarre. Oh, Charlie, it's raining so much over there. Oh, you died.
Are you loving it, Roo?
It's really fun.
It's really funny. You can never do too many cooking courses, right? Tom, what have you made?
I don't know what I'm doing.
I guess this is where we're signing our lives away.
Here she goes. See ya.
We're doing this one together.
If anything's gonna go wrong, it's this one.
Yeah.
Let's go!
I don't know where we're going. We're going down though. Fires are given. Done. What's he even doing? Meanwhile, here we come. It is stunning here. It's so amazing. I've never seen anything like it. Here it is. All the plans have just been thrown up in the air because we want to go and do this hike. We've been going uphill for like 2 hours or something. When you need a walking stick, it's a serious hike. Whoa! I have never seen anything like this.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What a day, what a day.
What a
Another
day.
one.
This is a really, really tough 2 days hike.
No, it's not a really, really tough 2 days hike. It's a really tough 2 days hike. I guess my legs are twice as long as that Charlie's. So for her, it is a really,
It really, really, exactly.
Oh,
So prepare yourself and bring your A game because you're gonna need it.
We will go from this day on. Take this world and make it ours. You and I, all lifelong. We'll take this world from this day.
I bet you can't guess what we're doing today.
From this day
I have to conquer my fear. I have to get on the bike.
Go, stop, that one. Fly over the handlebars, is this one. Keep your feet down on the ground until you get a little bit of speed.
Oh my god, this is fun.
You're being very dramatic, Charlie.
Gonna go in front of me.
Not really, I'm pretty scared I'm gonna get run over.
We finally arrived in Inlay Lake. Destination number 2. We have no idea where it is, but it's probably gonna be awesome! An hour and a half, 2 hours into the journey, I started feeling what I thought was really travel sick because we were like winding up this road. So it got pretty bad. I was basically throwing up for 10 hours. I was really annoyed because I had escaped getting food poisoning for the whole 2 months, and then like at the last hurdle, crashed and burned. The next day we left Myanmar as we had one last week of our travels which we were going to be spending in Singapore. We had been travelling for over 9 weeks, so as you can imagine we were pretty tired, especially as this had been Tom's first ever backpacking trip. So we basically treated Singapore as a bit of a holiday at the end of our trip. I had also organised one last surprise for Tom's 30th birthday. A 2-night stay at the famous Marina Bay Sands Hotel. So, Tommy Roo, have you enjoyed backpacking?
Yeah, except for the backpacking part. The whole hostel thing's not my deal. Too many snoring people.
Snoring
It's just
people, noisy
inconsiderate.
people. It's a challenge, you know. It is definitely like character building. You don't realise quite how far you've gone or what you've been, like the journey you've been on, until you actually come back to this point it all started.
It's gonna be funny when we get back and it takes a couple of days to sink in. You almost fully can't take it all in
You can't.
when you're there. And
You
also
just-
when you're home, you've got a common environment.
That's a really good way of describing it, I think. Like, I guess when suddenly everything becomes familiar again, you gain back that ability to kind of digest what you've just done.
Yeah, perspective,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
Our travels were over, so after a week in Singapore, we headed back to Australia. Then at the beginning of April, my year-long visa for Australia had run out, so yet again I had to head home. And as you can imagine, leaving Tom this time, after having just spent a whole year together, was really hard. Over the next year or so, we split our time between Australia and the UK. Me spending as much time in Australia as my visa or my work would allow in either Darwin or the Riverland.
We have caught one fish so far. Nice little mackerel.
Also known as dinner.
Also known as dinner.
And Tom spending as little time as possible in the UK. So basically just coming over for Christmas.
Charlie's trying to kill me. It's so cold.
Four Christmases.
You and your cold little nose. Don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
We've come down the river to go camping, and I put my little fairy lights up in the tent, and they're so cute. I love it.
You're so cute, Charlie, with your little faces. Oh, the lighting is just incredible.
It's really good, isn't it? We didn't bring them down for, you know, camera lighting. We've now come round to Terminal 5 to pick up Tom. I'm so excited. I can't believe I haven't seen him since May. This is ridiculous. Oh, he's back. And then it's this Christmas, the 5th Christmas. I can't believe we've been together for 5 Christmases.
It's crazy.
That's insane. Where has the time gone also?
Oh yeah, that's the scary part. Oh guys.
So there we go, crazy. Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We're at Terminal 4. Tom's about to go.
Yeah. Oh, Charlie.
I don't want him to go.
I think it'll be a little while. Hopefully. There we go.
Yeah, I just got home and I feel a bit deflated because Tom's not here. Yeah, I just feel a bit empty all of a sudden, and the house feels empty without him.
Finally, after 4 years of back and forth, in early March 2020, I flew to Australia on a one-way ticket, ready to start building a life together with Tom. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you will have already seen that I announced that we got engaged. But here's the plot twist. So we actually got engaged over a year ago. Tom just didn't give me the ring until I got to Australia last month. It took a bit of time to get the ring because he wanted to get an opal from Kubapidi, because that was one of the first places that we went to when we first met on the tour.
We're in Kubapidi, the mines.
Now, I know you guys are waiting to hear the big proposal story, but there kind of isn't one because we just decided to get engaged. However, like I said back in Began,
So the plot thickens.
we have a bigger secret to share with you guys because just a few weeks ago, this happened.
So, We just got married. It's official. As you guys know, there's like a coronavirus craziness happening at the moment, so we weren't allowed anybody. Social distancing. So we just have our 2 witnesses. Got Mary, Tom's mum, and Tom's aunt Trish. So this is officially the smallest wedding in history, literally. The smallest wedding in history, just the guy that married us. So there we go. That happened.
Yeah.
As you can imagine from seeing our lifestyle up to this point, a big wedding was never going to be our style anyway. So after the simple registrar ceremony, we ate some cake. Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations. We ate some sushi. And then had some bubbles with the friends we were staying with in Adelaide.
Cheers.
You got Mr. and Mrs.
We were meant for this great adventure. This great adventure.
As you can see, it's been one hell of a journey so far, and it definitely hasn't been an easy one, sometimes spending up to 6 months apart. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you to every single one of you that has followed our journey and supported us. And once this lockdown is over, we fully plan to celebrate our marriage properly and share many more adventures with you. This is just the beginning.
This great adventure. World awaits to be discovered. Every moment filled with wonder. Oh, we know what we were meant for. This great adventure. This great adventure.
I love you've given me the GoPro to hold on to while I
Try and steer.
try and maneuver that.
Sorry. Disclaimer, Tom hasn't had any coffee yet.
Who would drag somebody out of bed to watch a sunrise? Oh my god. I can do it for a job.
I'm just trying to get you out of the shot because this is my tips video and I don't need you in the shot. You're really ruining my. I'm trying to do a 3-second tips video, and you're in the background now as well. Oh my god. That's not it, because I said however before.
Oh my god! I'm so crap at this. We just decided to get engaged. However, like I said back in Began,
Again.
nailed it, yes.
Finally.
Because just a few weeks ago, this happened.
Nailed it.
Oh,